Welcome, Libra, to your July 2023 ethics reading, done by Actionable Ethics. And this is going to be not a natal chart, but a Natal chart, because I'm Daniel Natal. But one of the things that I mean by that is that this is going to be a composite. Whether you believe in astrology or a fan of astrology or not, I do believe that there are 12 basic personality types. You'll see this in Chinese astrology, Western astrology, Indian astrology, etc. You'll see it in the number of people on a jury. You'll see it in 12 apostles. You'll also see it in personality taxonomies like the disc system, like where they're four basic types, but underneath those there are three subtypes, and altogether it's 12 personalities. And so what I also believe in as well is the Socrates had in the Republic, and you'll see in my logo there that I have an A and an E, which stands, of course, for actionable ethics, but it also represents three levels because he talks about how there are three layers of society. At the bottom is sense-based people, and that at their extremity might be bad things like gluttony, vices, associated with sensory stimulation like sex and stuff like that, narcotics. In the center are honor-based people, and those are like soldiers, police officers, politicians, people who crave honor. And at the top are truth-based people, and that's going to be like philosophers and scientists and stuff like that. So that's one of the taxonomies that go into your natal chart. One of them is also, of course, the Myers-Briggs personality system, in which you would coincide with ESFJ personality types. ESFJ stands for extrovertive, sensing, feeling, and judging. And like ESFJs, Libras are socially considerate, but they also like being appreciated by other people. In fact, unfortunately, in their effort to accommodate, they can sometimes go a little too far and be a little too conflict averse, but otherwise they're great diplomats and stuff like that. And basically good people. I, by the way, am a Libra, so I'm tooting my own horn and saying that. But in the DISC personality system that I mentioned at the outset, that stands for dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. And you guys would fall into the D category of dominance. You guys tend to be dominant personality types, and I say you guys, but it's really we guys. We tend to be, more charismatic. We're typically good talkers and stuff like that. So of course, as I said, we have strong diplomatic skills and interpersonal skills, and we can find harmony in relationships. And we like to negotiate. We're into conflict resolution. We said we might be good human resource managers, public relations specialists, lawyers, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that I like about doing kind of like personality analysis is the fact that I do believe that, as Heraclitus said, the philosopher Heraclitus, he said, character is destiny, right? So if you want to know what your fate holds, you need to look no further than your own character, your own personality. If you know yourself, then you'll have an idea of where your road is leading you. Kind of like the Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece, know thyself, the Delphi, the Oracle said. And this is why it's very, very important to rely more on this. And this is why I see great value in things like, astrology, just in terms of not so much as the astrological elements of it, but the deep wisdom of the knowledge of personality types and how people operate. And that's why Shakespeare and Julius Caesar, he says, the fault, dear Brutus, does not lie in the stars, but in ourselves. And but nevertheless, I do believe in in being intuitive and believing that the universe does send us messages. So I do believe in things like bibliomancy. Bibliomancy is essentially, someone opens up the Bible, they point a finger, they stab a particular passage at random, and then they derive great meaning from that passage. And the ancient Romans did that with the Aeneid. That was their cultural book, their touchstone, and that was about Aeneas, their founder. And Virgil wrote it, and so people would open it, stab it at random, find meaning there. Military remote viewers do that with a random number generator, and they'll pick targets based on kind of the random numbers. And so I'm going to do that here for you with ethics cards, right? These are ethics cards, and they essentially, I'm going to shuffle them, and I'm going to see if the universe has any messages for you this month. And I'm going to pick out 3 cards at random, and we will see what these 3 messages hold for you. And the first message for you is: fortitude is the guard and support of the other virtues. John Locke. Fortitude is the guard and support of the other virtues. that's absolutely true. You have to have fortitude. You have to be able to soldier through difficult circumstances and situations, which this month may have. There may be, some reversals, as Venus goes retrograde in your chart and all that kind of stuff. The next message to you is ethics is the art of living well. Cicero, right? So the ancient Roman philosopher, statesman Cicero. Ethics is the art of living well. People forget that, that's what ethics is. Ethics is personal development. Ethics is being able to make yourself the best version of you. And that's where some people kind of make a distinction. And it might be a distinction without a difference, but some people do. They make the distinction, like who was it? Was it John von Neumann? Can't remember who did it. It was Heinz von Forster. It was a cybernetics guy, and he said that ethics is self-control. Moralizing is when you try to control others, right? So like ethics is if you see something wrong with you, you're overweight, you try to fix that, right? You exercise. Moralizing is trying to lose weight by making someone else diet, wagging your finger and telling somebody. And this is why people don't like moralists, but they like ethicists. The difference is, resides in that. The third message to you this month is practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. And that was a sign outside of a music classroom. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. And getting back to Cicero said that that's what ethics was as well. He said that it was habit training, habit formation, right? So if you allow yourself to just kind of go with your vices, those will become bad habits and those will be ingrained in you. A habit is basically a thought that you have over and over again until it's burned in your brain. Well, you can hack your brain and you can actually set in good habits. And that's what ethics is about. I have, in my ethics fundamentals course, I have a section in there about that, about how you can basically hack your brain as an algorithm. So if you have a penchant for eating a candy bar, you can actually change your habit and consciously say, every time I want a candy bar, I'm going to get a carrot instead, right? And after you do it so many times, it ingrains it, right? Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So if you keep doing it over and over again, you will, kind of meet those goals that will make you a better person. Ethics is personal development. And, so those are your three messages this month, and I will, leave you below to see if you would like to get my ethics fundamentals course, so you can see some of these principles, kind of more outlined and articulated in a better rate. Otherwise, if you don't purchase that, then I'll have to do my old merch, which is the things like the Daniel Natal in action figure. You can watch Daniel engage in an action as he surfs the net, or engage in an action as he is watching TV. Another bad merch item was the Daniel Natal Pez dispenser. That didn't do very well, but it did much better than the Daniel Natal urinal cake. These were all bad merch ideas. But I will see you next time. And remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you want some extra personal ethics coaching for an issue you might have, you can set up a Zoom call with me by pressing the button below. Pick what calendar date and time you want, and we can hash over whatever thorny moral dilemma that you might be facing. Also, as I said, check out my ethics fundamentals course. The links are below, and I will catch you next time.
The world is suffering from a moral decline. We've been lurching from one crisis after another due to a lack of ethics in society. You can do your part now by considering ordering my Ethics Fundamentals courses for your children, or if you're a small business owner, using them as part of your onboarding process for new employees. Employees these days have horrible soft skills. Help them out by teaching them ethics. Businesses lose 7% in revenue due to employee theft. Train a more ethical workforce and save some of that money. According to the Ethics Center in Australia, a 10% increase in ethical behavior is associated with an increase of 2.7 to 6.6% in individual wages. Implementing ethical structures makes your company more investable as well. Make ethics a part of your business processes, or if you're a parent, part of your homeschooling curriculum. Go to www.actionableethics.com and press the button to order the course. actionableethics.com. Order now.